we're a few moments away from the chasana. What's a house like when that night is going to be a chuppah? Kavachimer the chassan himself, and we are all chassanim, and we're going to the chuppah, and we're going to the chuppah, and with such a kala, that there is no sveikis about this kala, such a simcha. I know that I'm going to the chuppah with a Torah that has in store for me so much pleasure and so much shalom bayis and so much bliss. How should we be preparing ourselves for such a chuppah? There was once a Maisa that there was a Talmud of the Avnei Nezer, a Talmud, a chassid of the Avnei Nezer, the Sagat, and he was a businessman who tried to be home for Shavuos back in Sagat, and as the Ashkacha would have it, he wasn't zoiche to return home in time to be back in Sagat for Shavuos. Unfortunately, he had to be in some favarfin amakim, in some place that there was no normal chassidus, no normal Rebbe shematziv, and he longed to be with Avnei Nezer, with his Rebbe, with the Sagat for Shavuos, the heiligkeit of the night of Shavuos in Sagat with the Rebbe, and the tefillas, and the Hallel, and the Tikkun, the Yachad, the Shleimus. And he was, unfortunately, as the Ashkacha would have it, he got stuck in some favarfina derfel, in some little shtetl, and this shtetl, this little town, was a town that the religious Jewish population of the town were kantonistim Yidden. What the kantonistim? There were people that were nebuch, they were taken to the army for 25 years. When the Russian, when the Tsar, Yimach Shemoy v'Zichroi, it was a death sentence. Either it was a physical death sentence, it was an emotional death sentence, it was a religious death sentence. And anybody who went for those 25 years, his neshama was ripped out of him, his guf was ripped out of him, and his mental health was ripped out of him. And there was some Yidden that fart, they remained epis Shomerei Torah mitzvahs to a little bit of their extent, but there were people that weren't really able to live amongst normal people in the normal communities because they were very tough people and gruff people. They had difficult situations in life, obviously. And Mamelev came out in their middays, and they went and they lived together. They had these groups of kantonistim Yidden. Their cloud, they were Amarotzim, not people that were tremendously learned individuals. After Yontif, this Yid came back to the Sagat, and he told the Sagat what a terrible Akmas Nefesh he had, that he wasn't zeicher to be by the Sagat, by the Rebbe for Shavuos. So the Sagat, the Avnei Nezer, told him it must be that if he was sent over there, it must be some type of a tikkun that had to be done in such a shtetl, in such a community. He said, you must have heard something, some episode, something, some advar of Torah that you heard on the Shavuos on that night. So he said, yeah, look, the Kantonista Rebbe, this Rebbe, they also have a Rebbe. He's also himself was a person that was taken to the army, and he was like a little bit more learned than them. He knew more than just Aleph Beis, he knew Gimel Dalet, and he was the Rebbe. So he got up before Akdamas, and he said a vart. So the Sagat said, no, what was the vart? So I started, told him like this. He had a kasha. It says in the Gemara says, Shom take for Asam. If you take the Torah Kedosha, good. And if not, Shom take for Asam. So then Shom will be your kfura. Over there will be your kfura. So the Kantonist Rebbe, he asked the kasha. He asked, no, you need by first of all, he had two questions actually. He said, no, Shom, what does Shom mean? He starts explaining to the Kantonist, they told that these type of chevra, these army chevra didn't know anything. He starts explaining to them, Shom means there will be your kfura. So he asked the kasha, why there will be your kfura? Why there will be your kfura? If you don't accept the Torah, there will be your kfura. Shom take kfurascham. And that was, it should say poi take kfurascham. He said no, until the Rebbe explained to them, Shom and poi and Shom. So that already took half the drasha. Shom take kfurascham means there will be your kfura. Why does it say there will be? It should say poi will be your kfura. Over here will be your kfura if you don't accept on yourselves the Torah. That was one kasha. And then he asked another kasha. He said, and b'chalal, does it make sense? By Matan Torah, you have to give a threat. By Matan Torah, the Rebbeinu Shalom opened up the Shemayim Kivyachol, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu Kivyachol came out of Shemayim Kivyachol and spoke to Klal Yisrael, and there was such clarity and such emunah. Over here, you need to give them a warning. Over here, you got to give a warning. Over here, it's with such awe and such incredible simcha. Over here, you got to give them a warning. So the Rebbe said like this. He said, by Matan Torah, You don't need to have warnings except the Torah, or here's going to be your kever, here's going to be your end. But you know where you need it? When this Giluyim from Shemayim and the Rebbeinu Shalom talks to us, Mitoch HaEish, when you have a Har Sinai and you have a Zamuna and the Rebbeinu Shalom Medaber straight to Klal Yisrael, that Yotze Nishmasam Kimat from the Simcha and from the Hava and from the Muna and from the reality of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Over there, you don't need any warnings. You don't need to say, Poi take for Rascham. Here will be your kever if you don't accept the Torah. But Sham take for Rasam. There's going to be a time when it's not going to be so easy. There's going to be a time when to accept Torah and to be Makabel Torah, there's going to be difficult situations. And then there needed to be a warning that if you don't accept the Torah, so then a life without Torah, that'll be a kever. So Sham take for Rascham. He said, over here, we were in the war, we were in the army of the Tsar's army for 25 years. 25 years. Over there, you needed the warning of the Sham Te'ek for Rascham. That I'll accept the Torah, and if not, then over there, that'll be your kfur, that'll be the end of you. That was the word. The Sagit Shavuot with tears coming down his eyes, he said that word was kedai to travel the whole entire world to hear that word, because that's a word that all of Klal Yisrael is going to need at one point in the lifetime of Klal Yisrael. Rabbi say in the year Tavshin Pei, who would believe? What if a Yid 5 years ago, anybody that they asked him knew, where are you going to be in 5 years? He got the answer wrong. whatever answer you said 5 years ago, where do you think you're going to be in 5 years from now? Well, you never thought this. And this is the most time that we can imagine, at least in most of our lifetimes, that the Sham Teik Furascham, in the last 8 weeks, that the Rebbeinu Shalom 3,332 years ago said, accept the Torah, not Poi Teik Furascham, because over here you don't need with all the fire and all the brakim and all the Kallus and all the warnings. But you should know there's going to be a time in the year Tavshin Pei. And Sham Teik Furascham, if you don't accept the Torah, so then you know what? You'll waste away in your houses for 9 straight weeks. And the Rebbeinu Shalom said, if you accept the Torah, you better, because if not Sham, there's going to be a Sham. And the people that steig together, we steiged biyachad for the last 8-9 weeks, we steiged to Torah. So we showed the Rebbeinu Shalom, the Sham by us, is that we knew that if we don't mekabel on ourselves the oil of Torah, and the gishmak of Torah, and the simcha of Torah, and the kiyem chayenu of Torah Kedosha, so then we'll be in a matzav of Sham Teik Furascham. How many people came out of this matzav with a realization of what is Torah in my life and how much Torah makes an afkamina in my life? And the more that we pushed ourselves to have more and more Torah, the more we gave to Torah. Ahava, to give, Yahav, to give. The lashon of Ahava is Yahav, is to give. The more a person gives, the more he has a pleasure and a kinyan in it. You know, I'm a Tepeladik Maisa. I've been saying this word for years about Yahav, like Rechaim Shulevitz, we all know, and the Mechtav Eliyahu, that when you give to something, so then you love it. Because when you give and you give and you give, a hava comes out they giving and giving and giving. And when you're moist your nefesh for Torah and you give more and more for Torah, you come to love more and more for Torah. Saying this word for years, I can't say I've been giving a lot for Torah in the last 9 weeks because it was simchas and nefesh. I don't feel like I was giving anything for Torah. But you should know, yesterday one of the krushim, one of the wooden slats fell down on the fence. One of the fences, the wooden slat fell down on the fence, right? And Maisa, it breaks up the whole privacy between the two chatzeres, between the backyard. I don't need to know what's going on over there on the other side of the back. What do I need? So I took, this is going to be very exciting for all of you. So I took this little, it was like those little, my backyard, most of you guys, right? Rabbi Gottman, on the back over there, those little, the brown, the friends over there. So I took this slat, right? And I took a hammer and a nail. And okay, the first one, it didn't go so well by me. And then the second, by the third nail, I managed to get the nail in halfway and then it broke in half. So I had to take it out. Okay. But by the fourth nail, I managed to put the nail and I put the fence back together again. Right? And then I put one on the bottom and then I didn't realize on the other side was a piece of metal. So it doesn't, what could you do? And then I took a cable tie and I walked out this morning and I looked at my fence. I made that fence and I felt good about it. I felt like that's my fence. I took my wife, come here, man. Right? Look here. You know who made that fence? That's right. Right? I made that fence. I felt good about it. Why did I feel good about it? because I worked on it. I'm not joking. I enjoyed the fence in the whole entire history of my existence in this house, in my entire lifetime in this house. I never enjoyed this fence before. It was the first time I ever noticed the fence pushing. It's the first time my wife said to me, you know, that when you wash the floor, you get a lot of enjoyment walking on the floor also. You know, but I'll go put him. Now I enjoy. The more that a person is going to give to Torah, he has to realize that the more he gives of himself to Torah, the more he's going to love Torah Kedosha. And especially in these difficult matzavim, if not, he'll lose his connection to Torah. The more you give to Torah, so then the more a person gets a kinyan of kiheim chayenu ve'oirech yameinu, that it becomes my length of life. It becomes my life itself, life of Torah. That's what happens when you give to Torah. And we have to remember, excuse me. We have to remember that when the Medrash and Shir Shirim, if you saw in this time period, and I think everybody, all my people, at least I know for sure, saw tremendous siyata d'shmaya in their Torah, in their ahava for Torah. How many people in the last 9 weeks, the longest sphere sa'omer that we ever had, how many people had so much of a reality check that I need Torah in my life? So many of us realize that Torah is so much a chelik of my life, and Torah is my revival. Torah is my tchias amesim. How many of us look forward every single day to our chavrusa, to our shir on Zoom, to our whatever it was, our chelik in Torah, whether it was our Tehillim group that we said together with, every one of us realized that was we looked forward to it. Everything else we didn't look forward to in the last 8-9 weeks, but we looked so forward to it, and we realized that we came to that hakara. Nasev and Nishmar Abaisai is not a statement; it's a reality check. It's a reality check. You're a nivra. You're a nivra, and that the Rebbeinu Shalom, he programs you. And the Rebbeinu Shalom knows what's best for you. How many of us came to the reality that it's takaki, heim chayenu, v'oirech yameinu? I can't live without Torah. My most basic need. In the last 9 weeks, we didn't buy new clothing, we didn't buy new shoes, we didn't buy this, we didn't do that. Most of us came out, didn't do business, we didn't do anything. But the one thing that we did was with the Torah, that we wouldn't be able to live without. We came to the reality of Kiheim Chayenu ve'oirech Yameinu. And you know what we were zeicha to because of that reality? The Medrash and Shir Shirim and the Pasuk, in Perek Vav, the Pasuk I keep saying over and over again. Chiku mamtakim v'kuloi machmadim. Torah is sweet and yummy and delicious. That's what Torah is. And the Medrash says when HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu said from Shemayim, Anochi Hashem Elokecha, and he said the Torah to Klal Yisrael. So the Parcha Nishmasam, the Nishmata Travek, the Neshama went out of them, as we say. The Neshama went out, and the Malachim, the Medrash brings down his Matayah with such beauty, how the Malachim and HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself came and started to hug Klal Yisrael, to kiss Klal Yisrael, to say, what do you think for this? It brings a mashal of a child, that the king gave him a shak, and he started to hug him and to kiss him, and the Malachim came to hug us, and the HaKadosh Baruch Hu came to hug us and kiss us and say, what? You think that I'm trying to take out your neshama? I'm loving you because you're accepting the Torah. I'm hugging you and loving you. How many of us in the course of the last 9 weeks felt that moiridik ahava, when you had a tremendous desire to go and learn Torah, when you pressed the button on your computer, a computer that all of our Rebbeim always told us all the evil and all the tum inside of it, but that we used and turned into a chefza de kedusha. And when you pressed it and you turned it on to get together, to have the shir together, to have the chavrusa together, how much ahava for Torah. You know what that was? That tremendous desire, and that was HaKadosh Baruch Hu hugging you and kissing you and telling you how much he loves you. And when you felt that Ki'eim Chayenu, that was the Rebbeinu Shalom saying, what do you think I'm doing to you? What do you think? I'm giving you this matzav of corona so that you should be meruchik from me, so that you should suffer. I'm giving you so you come to the ultimate akar of Ki'eim Chayenu ve'oirech yameinu, that Torah is life. Life is Torah. Torah is not oxygen. Rabbi Ber used to say, it's not oxygen, Rabbi Ber used to say. Torah is life. It's not that this life, I'm alive, and I have also Torah. We are Torah. We are Torah. We don't love Torah. We are Torah. We are Torah, Rabbi Yisai. And the Hakara that you came to, Rabbi Yisai, in the last 9 weeks, that's wonderful, wonderful Hakara. That Kabbalah, you go into Matan Torah with that Kabbalah, Rabbi Yisai. You go in tonight, starting tonight, It's with the Kiddush. Look at the Kiddush, forget the Kiddush. We're way before the Kiddush, with the Ma'ariv. Whoever's Zeicha to be with the Tzibur, with the Ish Echad, Belev Echad. Whoever's not Zeicha, he says the Ma'ariv, nicht am Verwarfen a Ma'ariv, and just having Kavan on the Hasar, Maleinu, Oyev, Dever, V'cherev. The ganze Shema Yisrael, Amayid, the Abbas Oilam, Beis Yisrael. When a person tonight, listen to the words of Baisai. The words, the beautiful, beautiful words of the tefillahs that he's going to say tonight, and to be mechazik ourselves in them. He's going to say, the Rebbeinu Shalom, nismach b'divrei soivasecha, u'b'mitzvaysecha le'olam v'od, and you'll come to the Rebbeinu Shalom, you'll say, this is me. This is me. This is the reality that I now have, that I want to always be Nasiach B'chukecha. And I come to the realization that's Kihein Chayenu and Oirek Yamenu, and I will be Nege Yoim V'Layla. And with that, I will have a constant relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that Ahava Al Tasir Mimenu L'Oilamim. And then he goes in and he says Shema, because now he is with the Rebbeinu Shalom, he's one with the Rebbeinu Shalom. And then he's going to say, Azat Tefillah Tebechartanu Mikol Ha'amim. Today was the day he was Boicher us Mikol Ha'amim. Today was the day. He went to the Goyim. He went to the Americans. You want the Torah? What does it say? Does it talk anything about food? Does it talk anything? Give me a baseball game. No, it's not for you. He went to the English. You know all my English jokes. Frag nish, right? He came to Kallus. So give us Torah. We want Torah. Just give us Torah. Give us Torah. We just want Torah. That's all we want is Torah. With the Kiddush tonight, with the Geshmak, with the Hava, with the Varma Shmeichel, with the warm smile to the family, to everybody. The Midas, the Hava that we should have tonight. The Hava for the family, the Hava for the Rebbeinu Shalom. And then we come finally to that moment of the learning. We're going to have in the Ava Rabbah, we're going to have the Kavanah and the Birchas HaTorah. And then after we have the Kavanah and the Birchas HaTorah, we're going to start the night with learning, with the limud of the Torah. With the limud and the Zahar limud Torah, even before we eat, just to learn something, to connect ourselves to the Ava Rabbah, to the Avas Oilam. Then when we start the night and we learn and we push, and then in the middle of the night, if we're not zeicha to go to a base magic, we're going to say, Rebbeinu Shalom, I can't anymore. I need a chavrusa. Rebbeinu Shalom, I need a chavrusa. So if I can't have a chavrusa, then you, Rebbeinu Shalom, have to be my chavrusa. And you'll sit there with the Rebbeinu Shalom, and you're going to have so much siyata d'shmaya. And in the morning, when you're going to say as a halil, Rabbi Sai, you're going to say, the Evan Amasa Abayim Maisel Rosh Pina. I didn't even realize what was coming over here. And the Ayoyim Nakila V'Nismechas Bay. Then afterward, Rabbi Sai, he'll go to the chuppah with the Hava. He's going to come. If he's zoichet to hear the Aseret Dibris in a Kriyas HaTorah, and he's zoichet to daven for people that need a refuah during that time period, and even if he's not, he's going to see the words of the Chumash of the Torah, reiterating that love, and that the Rebbeinu Shalom came from Shemayim and gave Torah to Klal Yisrael, which was zoicher Abaisai, to feel that incredible ahava. These last few weeks, these 9 weeks that we have had Abaisai to prepare for the moments of tonight, to staying up tonight, and to the Kiyem Chayenu, our cherished moments, Abaisai. People did have to suffer. It's true. And Klal Yisrael had to suffer at large. But there's no Shiloh Abaisai that those that connected themselves, they received in this time period a chizik in Kiyem Chayenu. They felt the love of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They were zeicha to understand that if I don't have Torah, Sham take Kurasam. They were zeicha to give to the Torah, and al-yedei that make it a kinyan in their nefesh. And with that, you come in to Shavuos, you're fully prepared. You're fully prepared. You should be zeicha Abaisai to a Shavuos of an emes Kabbalah of Torah, that the Rebbeinu Shalom should see our ritzaynus and be our chavrusa, and he should give us siyata d'shmaya to steig this year, and siyata d'shmaya that with the emes Kabbalah we should be zeicha with the chabura to get back together, b'korev, Yushalayim, Ira Kodesh, and halavai, Mashiach Tzedekenu will be with us too. B'mheira b'yameinu, amen. Rabbi, I'm being asked here, Shaila. Let me just tell you that you could make. You want to show us, Manny, maybe what you're talking about? Or, this you're allowed to use on Yontif because it's a vada, even though it's a boirer monster. It's a French press. What's it called? Oh, a press French, sorry. A press French, and you put inside the coffee, and you press it, and it comes out French coffee. That's a wonderful feeling. And you have that, not only that, you're allowed to make on Friday for Shabbos, so long as it would be ready on Friday, because you also are going to have your Erev Tafshilin, which I just reminded you about. And you could do also cold brew filtering for Shabbos. That's, for all those Mevinim. You want to show them a picture of that also, or no? Keep your hands on the road, Davi. I know you have one next to you, right? So that's a cold brew over there that you're allowed to make on Yontif for Shabbos. Legabe folding a talis, that's a little bit more schwer. That's a little bit more schwer. And Rabbi Zan, you're allowed to shave the covered the yontif, right? So that you should go into the yontif with this the covered yontif, murdik. Rabbi Isai, maybe, who knows, after Shabbos, who knows, maybe the Kotel will get back together in a base medrash. Who knows? The Gabi the talis, the Gabi folding the talis is a shtickle shaila, because there it's not just an Indian of achana. There's an isser of the actual folding. That's why you shouldn't really fold your talis on Yontif for Shabbos. The Erev Tavshilim can only help you for inyanim of doing something that you would have been allowed to do on the Yontif itself. But you're not allowed to go and fold the talis itself.